Welcome to More Organised, Less Clutter, a podcast to empower individuals and neurodivergent families with practical, realistic tools to create a more organised, sensory-friendly, clutter-free and intentional home that works with your lifestyle and brain, not against it. I'm Narelle King, a professional organiser and neurodivergent mum who understands the unique challenges of family life. I help people just like you simplify your space, build sustainable organisational systems and create more breathing room physically and mentally. Every fortnight, you'll hear solo episodes and guest conversations filled with practical strategies on decluttering, home organisation, routines for neurodivergent families, mindful living, and how to build a home that feels safe, calm and functional. You'll walk away with actionable takeaways you can implement even if you only have 10 minutes to spare. What if your most impressive Christmas event was also your most sustainable? Welcome to today's solo episode where I will be turning festive flair into an eco-friendly event. I'm going to share how you can use self-serve drink station to bring your own containers, leftover station, and also sharing simple guest-pleasing hacks that cut waste without cutting the magic. I'm also going to be sharing edible decor and borrow not buy serving pieces and how to label your cups to ditch the disposables, and also thinking about portion planning that saves food and also money. By the end, you'll have a host-ready Christmas that makes your home sparkle, your guests feel cared for, and also looks after your bin, which will hopefully be surprisingly empty. Let's jump into this More Organised, Less Clutter podcast where we're going to plan a no-waste Christmas that everyone will remember. Thanks for joining me for today's solo episode where I'm sharing eco-savvy ideas to impress your guests at Christmas time and also help you reduce waste with small, thoughtful touches that are kind to the planet and also help reduce the burden of clutter on your guests at Christmas time. So I'm going to break this down into 3 parts. Before the event, also the actual day of the event, so setting the scene and all around the food, and then finally finish with some eco-friendly gift ideas for you. So let's start with the pre-event. When we're sending out our invite, we are going to be asking people to bring a container for leftovers that they can take home with them. We are also going to get them to RSVP with the types of food, whether they're meat, vegetarian, vegan. This is going to actually help us to cook on demand rather than just cooking too much. We're also going to be looking at the different parts of our kitchen and working out what we can borrow versus buying things. So it might be like our glasses, chairs, platters, maybe it's tables. It's things that we could find either from people we're inviting, maybe some friends, family, or even looking in our opportunity shops or thrift shops and seeing if we can buy things there, or maybe it's secondhand on Facebook Marketplace. Another thing that you can think about before the event is portion planning. So maybe getting smaller plates, and so that people could refill from the kitchen and you keep backup trays chilled or warmed depending what season you're in. Because here in Australia, our Christmas is during summertime and the Northern Hemisphere is obviously in wintertime. It means that we can keep the food fresh, and also the food that is untouched can then be given the guests as leftovers to take home. Now, when it comes to the decor and presentation of our day, things to think about are having edible and reusable decor. For example, you might have your dried citrus garlands, or you might have greenery branches. We use gum leaves in vases around Christmas time. It might be cloves in oranges and cinnamon bundles that you're going to use, or herb pots. And you could place your cards, like the names of the guests, and they can then take them home with them. Or maybe it's even like seeded paper, and that's the place card with the guest's name, and then they can take them home and plant them. So they're actually reusable. And then also thinking about using real napkins and then reuse them again. Also tea towels and your tablecloths as well. Think about setting up a self-serve drink station. And so there's no single-use plastic. It's actual proper glasses. And you could even batch some of the beverages that you're going to have. So it might be a mocktail or even one cocktail, and you've got dispensers there so people could help themselves. It might even be like an infused water that has like citrus and rosemary or cranberry and mint in it. If you have the glasses set out, you could also have a glass marker or even that washi tape and a pen so people could write their name on it. And that way they then know which glass is theirs and they can just come back and refill it. And having carafes of water or drinks means that you're going to also cut down on single-serve cans or bottles. When it comes to food, you could actually think about planned leftovers menu. So what's some things that people really like to use as their leftovers? For example, roast root vegetable tray, and the next day you might have this in a salad or a frittata. Maybe it's toasted turkey and ham sandwiches with the roast veggies, or omelettes with roast vegetables as well as the ham, chicken or turkey. Another one is soup, and it could be using the meat and vegetables. And finally, it could be a pot pie, fried rice, or even toasties. Now, when it comes to serving, if you have your meats and roast pre-sliced in the kitchen, you can then bring out in small waves on trays and refill as you go. Also look at a bread basket with maybe butter and herb or oil to just help stretch out that main meal without overcooking. Now, when it comes to sorting and cleaning up, we want to make sure that we have a clear waste zone. So it's really clearly labeled compost, recycling and returns, and finally landfill, with either written or maybe picture examples so that everyone is really clear and what is being placed into these different bins. Then you'd have your leftover love station. And this is where people can fill a box, label it, and use it the next day. If people have bought their BYO containers, or you've got a few spares or some spare jars, then they can place their food in it, have some masking tape there and Sharpies so that they can then label it with what it is, maybe the date, and even any reheating tips that they need to remember on their container. Comes to gifts, the eco-saving ideas I'm going to share. You can also go back to episode 66, and there are so many more examples. But our first thing is a low-waste secret Santa. So you could theme it pre-loved, it could be edible, or maybe consumable only. Some other ideas are gift and experience. So not only are you giving them something fun to do, but you're also saving yourself time running around to the shops because you could potentially buy this online. But try to also think of the activity that will be practical and easy for them to redeem, and you don't want the voucher to go to waste. A second idea is a practical present, because no one wants to give a gift that goes to waste or ends up in the back of cupboard, which I see a lot of with clients. We want to think practical, and this might be everyday items such as books, pajamas, socks. These are great ideas for gifts that you know they're going to use. The next one is consumable gifts, and these make great clutter-free gift ideas because you're going to be giving that thoughtful gift that they'll be able to enjoy and use. These gifts won't add permanent clutter to their home. Most people appreciate receiving something thoughtful, shows that you know them well enough to find something they will enjoy. I know as a kid, my parents would give my opa specular biscuits for his Christmas present. That we've sort of continued with that tradition, giving my own dad the specular biscuits and particular chocolates that he really enjoys. And my last idea for a clutter-free gift are gift cards, because the person can use them to treat themselves to something special or for something that they need or maybe even that they want. So you could opt for gift cards that let the person purchase an experience or maybe consumable items instead. So if you are looking for more ideas, scroll back to episode 66 and you'll be able to find a whole list of all of those experiences and other gift ideas. So I hope by sharing these eco-savvy touches, you can feel prepared for Christmas. Maybe also save some money and keep waste close to zero that will leave you feeling good and impress your guests. Thanks for listening to More Organised, Less Clutter. Would you like to have a home for everything and easily be able to find the things you need during the festive season? To help you have the best Christmas season, I've created an extra special free resource for you, the Christmas Declutter Calendar. Quick and simple ideas designed to give you immediate results in just 15 minutes each day. Feel more organised this Christmas and download your Christmas Declutter Calendar from simplyhappy.com.au in the resource section. I'd like to acknowledge the Wathaurong people of the Kulin Nation on which this podcast is recorded as the traditional custodians of the land. I pay my respects to their elders, past, present and emerging.